All the things I pointed out about season one and predicted for season two go beyond the pale of what I even predicted in terms of how denigrated this whole process has become. I mean, it's become this culture of complaint, fantasy land where you get 15 minutes of fame and suddenly you're inventing new facts, and that goes for the talent as well as the stars, Remini and Rinder. If you go back and you look at what they're saying now against what they were saying earlier, they're literally creating new realities. So this reality TV business has gone to the full end of the spectrum of create your own unreality. Okay, and there's a few overriding things to look for in this series as you go through it that apply to the whole series. First is Mike Rinder, who's listed as a consultant and is making beaucoup bucks for being the quote-unquote consultant. He's saying less and less and just sagely nodding and confirming what Leah Remini's saying. And, of course, Leah Remini's in no position of expertise on these things she's talking about. And she'll just create facts, and Mike Rinder will acknowledge it and say, exactly right, Leah, or absolutely, I agree with you 100%, or simply not. He doesn't even say anything, okay? And the irony of it is that throughout the entire season, virtually every victim that they bring in, quote-unquote victim, was on Mike Rinder's watch. I mean, he had direct jurisdiction or involvement, or should have, in virtually every one of those stories that was told, and I'll go through it chapter and verse with you. And yet, there's no recognition of that or admission of that anywhere in the entire 14, 15, whatever amount of episodes there were. So that, if their story were not exaggerated or untrue, you would expect that he would be providing admissions, apologies, and details, corroboration. He doesn't do any of those things throughout. Another interesting indicator of just how much projection and how exaggerated and dramatized everything is the level of partisanship that these people are displaying. I mean, it's getting further and further radicalizing themselves to the point where the guy who's the consultant, who's supposed to be the level-headed arbiter of facts or verifier of facts, published this recently about Scientology. Scientologists are like cornered rats and will ultimately be wiped out entirely because they are such menacing, antagonistic, and rabid vermin. That's Mike Rinder, just in October 3rd, okay, of 2017. That's the guy who's supposed to be the objective expert. That's his sentiment about the subject. So, the third leg of the three profiteers, or the troika, as I've referred to him as, is Tony Ortega. There's Leah Remini, Mike Rinder, and Tony Ortega, who's their silent partner, who pimps and promotes the show, gets all of the advance notice of it so that he can start spiking putting out the meme lines to try to get a seat in the media. So Tony Ortega is the third leg of the troika, or the three profiteers. And I call them the three profiteers because they're the only three people that profit in the anti-Scientology thing. It's a monopoly. Everybody else is putting money into it. They're the only ones that are getting money, okay? And they very carefully guard that hierarchy.